Hi guys, my name is Mesa and I'm a part-time reseller online with platforms such as Etsy, Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and Depop. And I want to talk to you today about lowball offers. And I have combed YouTube looking for information on how to deal with lowball offers. And there's some great information out there, but there are also a lot of things that I personally have just developed that I'm not seeing the content for that out available, so I wanted to make a video and bring it to you. And I was going to make this a short video and then stayed up till 2 a.m. and just got all my thoughts out on paper, and so it's going to be a little more exhaustive kind of topic than I had originally meant. But if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, so first off, we want to talk about a few things not to do when you receive a lowball offer. The first thing is don't reply immediately. If you are triggered by an insulting low offer, that's not the time to start a negotiation. So allow yourself time to calm down and deliberate about what you're going to do and put a plan of action into effect. So mistreating a potential buyer, it damages your reputation, it casts a shadow on your fellow resellers, and it discredits the platform that you're using. So don't respond in any angry manner. Don't be rude. Don't be that person. Don't make assumptions about the person's motives. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you paid for it. They may have very limited resources. You could be talking to a teenager who's spending their meager allowance. You could have a widow on a fixed income, a single mom, a college student, a foreigner. Some may view the asking price as or their initial offer as a jumping point, just a jumping off point to negotiation, just to test you, test your resolve, just kind of dipping their toes in the water. And they may have watched your haul video on social media and they know you only paid $2 for it. So that may be, you may be starting your own lowball, you may be inviting those people by some of the things you're doing. So, and some people just operate under the assumption that, hey, it never hurts to ask. So don't question motives. Don't let that be the first thing that you're thinking about, because oftentimes that is what triggers the emotional response. And the other thing is, don't feel pressured by an offer. You own the item, it's yours, no one can make you sell it. You have complete control over the item, and you can always say no. So, one thing that I did not see in the YouTube content as I looked around YouTube on this topic was actually building into your business model and your systems and your procedures ways, like standardized ways that you are planning to deal with people during an offer, a negotiation. So make rules for yourself and for your shop that you have to abide by. And then it becomes less of a personalized assault and it just, you know how you're going to behave going into the negotiation because you've done it before. It'll become a habit and it'll draw some lines in the sand for you, and you'll know when the customer is really crossing the line or when they're not. And so some of the things that you might be thinking, and I'm not suggesting these as your procedures, but I'm just throwing ideas out there randomly to show you that, like, what I mean by setting up a rule for yourself. And so what I'm saying is, like, you can put out the marketing message, I only discount on bundles. That's what kind of seller I'm going to be. If you're not bulk buying, pay the asking price. That could be your business model. That could fit your branding. And so that's what you need to do, and you need to make it consistent. So you want to publish the idea on social media. You may want to put it into your listings themselves and just say this is a firm price. All prices are firm unless bulk buying. Letting people know that ahead of time, what type of a seller you are, it helps a lot. It helps them behave in a certain way. And it also just, they may leave your shop. Sure, they may leave your shop. But they'll leave your shop without spending your time. And that could be really important, especially when you actually start having success on the platforms. You know, they're time consuming. So you really do need to weed out the customers that are not going to buy at your price point, and just put it out there and let them know early on. Just like a yard sale. When you go to a yard sale, I just listen to what other people are doing, and I'm like, she's charging a lot on this yard sale. Her prices are, she loves her stuff, right? She's that kind of a seller. I'm not gonna not buy from her, but I'm gonna be super choosy, and I'm only gonna get certain things, and I'm gonna know how far I can, if there's no wiggle room, I know that. And I can just make my buying decisions based on that. And, if I'm at a, fire sale, kind of get rid of everything, yard sale, then I behave completely differently and I spend differently. It's not that I'm not both of their customers. I am. I will buy at both. But I'm just going to buy differently and I'm going to behave differently. So letting people know what your agenda is. This is a yard sale where we're raising money for a trip, so we're going to ask a good amount of money, or we just want this stuff gone because, grandma didn't make it, kind of thing. So same thing, just as you were, and that's another thing, is thinking about how you are as a buyer. Are you trying to get the best deal, haggling at all the yard sales, and then when you're running your shop, you're like, oh no, I don't negotiate. So try not to be hypocritical. Make the messaging, consistent, and hold yourself to it. So let's talk about some of the benefits of low offers. All feedback is good feedback, especially when you're just getting started. I haven't been doing this for clothing for very long, so about March is when I started doing this, with clothing in particular. But as I improve as a picker, I choose more desirable objects, and I find that I have a higher number of low offers the better my stuff is. Or the best items in my closet. Those are the ones that people are like, yeah, will you take $10? And that's like, well, I have it listed for 100, So just knowing that someone is jumping into my new listing, it's a form of validation for me. It proves that I am it validates. That's what it does. It validates that I'm getting the hang of this, that I am finding things of value, and I'm on the right track. I listed a pair of Dansko nursing shoes for $50, hoping to get 40, and I immediately received an offer for $10. And I thought, $10? Am I doing this wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Did I overvalue the thing? I thought Danskos were super good. Like, what did I do? So I went to the ladies' Poshmark closet, and she was selling the same shoes for like $75. So she was just looking for inventory, cheap inventory. It was her way of sourcing. And at first I thought, how dare she, And then I thought, you know what? She could be disabled. She could be stuck at home. She might be under a COVID lockdown. Maybe her thrift stores have, are closed for COVID outbreaks. That happened here in our town. All the thrift stores were shut down. And if I was doing this full time and that was my main income stream for our household, I would definitely be hot looking for mega bargains, and I might be offering lowball offers. So I was like, maybe I should, maybe just not judge. I don't know. They don't know. I don't know. Low offers help you to review and revalue your item, reevaluate the value. Some of you are actually paying consultants to comb through your Poshmark closets and critique your valuations. Customers are offering that service for free. So if you're consistently getting a marketing message from your buyers, lowball offers all the time that you're considering lowball, maybe it's not lowball. Maybe you're asking too much. And if you are asking too much, then because this transaction and this is this procedure is built into your business model, you can adjust your business model and you can start buying at a lower cost of goods or increase your or decrease your margins, and you can wiggle room. But that feedback, sometimes if you're just getting lowball offers, maybe they're not lowball offers at all, and you're just thinking that everything you found is super valuable because you were excited to find it. And the fact that you were excited to find it in a store is not, that's not what is the value, generally, if you want to sell stuff. And like I said before, don't feel pressured because it is yours. And if you're the only one with it, then you can set the market on the item, but you may have to sit there on it and you may get lowball, what you consider lowball offers day and night for a year before you ever can find a serious buyer who's thinking about the object like you are. Okay, we should talk a little bit about how to deliberate, how to think about it, because before we respond, we're gonna deliberate, we're gonna think about the offer and consider it. Always consider it. Think about how long you've had the item. Did you really check comps, or were you checking solds when you checked comps, or were you checking asking prices? Because those can be very different numbers. So sometimes it's a good idea to just look back and be like, wait, did I value this right? What did you pay for it? Your cost to me. What will it cost me to sell it at a sacrifice price? Is it really going to cost you? Because in business, you do have to clearance things, and you do have to let things go at a loss to reduce your loss. So if you've had the item for a really long time, or you barely paid anything for it, you may be able to do someone a really great deal, and they may come back and buy in bulk. They may be back and back and back throughout the years because you gave them this bargain that they're so excited to be in your store and getting these great deals. So I say always consider it. Also, has the item dropped in value since you listed it? I was looking forever for Miss Me jeans, and I finally found some Miss Me jeans, and I was putting them in my Poshmark closet and asking $50. Well, they were hot for a minute, and now if you go on Facebook Marketplace, everyone is dumping their Miss Me jeans for $10 a pair. They are everywhere for $10 a pair. So I need to get back into my Poshmark closet and start lowering those prices. But in the meantime, if somebody gives me a lowball offer, I'm going to take it, because those Miss Me jeans are not moving, and they're moving at clearance prices. So I don't want to be the last person to unload my Miss Me jeans. And I'm sorry if you love Miss Me jeans. If you do, come to my closet. I got a few pair. Also, try to detach emotionally from the item. Do I want this thing? And call it this thing. Do I want this thing more than I want the money being offered? So if you're thinking yeah, but this is a Ralph Lauren shirt and it's got to be worth, $20 at least, come on. And the person's offering 10, well, do you want the Ralph Lauren shirt sitting in your inventory, or would you rather have $10? You may have, reasons why you need to move it. Cash flow, because I find that when you're what? My blue suede Doc Marten footwear that I wore to my sister's graduation? You're asking for a low price on this precious thing that it is, and calling it a thing helps you detach and makes it all about dollars and cents. It's a dollars and cents decision now, a business negotiation, and the whole point is making money. So let's get it done. Okay. Negotiation strategies. First of all, you can disregard the offer. You can just pretend it didn't happen, keep scrolling. If you have a plenty of fish in the sea business model, you may decide that this fits your brand and allows you to focus on more productive endeavors. eBay lets you automate the process by, eliminating offers altogether, or by auto, it auto accepts or auto declines, based on your parameters. You can do that for every single item in eBay, or you can just do it as your little business rule in your procedures. yes or no answers, decline or accept. These are perfectly acceptable options. An offer does not have to be the beginning of a game. It doesn't have to be the first move in a game. You could just be like, that's reasonable, done, next. Get on to making more money. If you can't make a lot of money here, then don't waste your time and energy there. Just close that deal and get on to your next one, or keep listing, or the offers expire naturally, so they're not going to be hanging out there forever. You can completely disregard sob stories. You guys are going to hate me for this. Okay, in general, I try to just approach my business being very compassionate. I assume that everyone I'm talking to is like a disabled single mom. Like, I just give the gal a break. She's doing the best she can. I just assume that about people. And so I try to treat all of my customers the same. I try to have this, I'm not, I don't play favorites. So when I say that I disregard sob stories, what I mean is I don't let that play into the part in the negotiation. So there's no way to verify these people's claims at all. They're not dealing with a local person. They're dealing with someone halfway across the country who can't verify their story. So right off the bat, you have to wonder, like, why are they even having a story? So I don't let myself be assigned the role of caretaker and rescuer of this person. If I decide that I want to help someone, it comes from me. It doesn't come from them, like, grabbing at. So I just stay in my lane. I'm selling. I'm here to sell. We're having a conversation because we're selling. So I'm not trying to be anybody's counselor. I'm not 911 services. So my response to a long message detailing how COVID took her husband last winter, allowing her to feed and clothe 6 children while waiting for her disability benefits, my response might be, my best price on this item is $15, but I could go a little bit lower if you're wanting to bundle some summer clothes for the kids. So what I've done by that kind of a response is I've only acknowledged the components of her story that pertain to me and the sales transaction. So I pretend like nothing else was said, but I have children who need clothes and I want a bargain. Those are the messages that she sent that are relevant to me and to my business and to the sale. And so my reply is based on that. And usually people just shut down the sobbing. Sometimes people get it going. I will say, I didn't put this in my notes, so I'm going to say it right now. Use your blocking feature sparingly. So there are crazy people who are drawn to the internet, and sometimes in a negotiation you start to think, if I close this deal, I'm going to put a label on a package and send it through the mail, and these people are now going to know where I live. And I'm not comfortable suddenly with that particular person having access to me. And, just some people are, if you haven't, then you're lucky. There's not very many people out there, so I don't want to scare anybody out of, businesses put their addresses on labels all the time, and if you want to sell, that's part of it. But there are definitely people, and we'll get into that just a little bit. We will get into that a little bit. Okay, so don't let people leverage a discount by storytelling. I just don't do it. It's just my personal decision. Okay, counteroffer. Mentally prepare your best manners. Keep your language in any correspondence positive and professional. Keep your first counter offer closer to your asking price and don't jump to the middle on the first move. Leave room for a little haggling. Sometimes people are enjoying the game, and it's okay to play the game. Just play it smart. If the buyer is only going up by increments of $1, don't be giving up 5 at a time on your end, because you're going to end up, that meeting in the middle is going to lean to their side. is going to skew. So the way you're negotiating can give you that. Most people have a tolerance of how many buttons they'll actually push, and you don't know what that is, but know what yours is. Okay. If the buyer is being generous with his increases, then match or exceed his generosity within reason. And buyers will enjoy their experience more if the price that is settled on is a number that they propose. So try to accept the offer as soon as it gets in the range of what you're comfortable with. And that way you're also not risking the sale. You're not putting too much risk on losing the sale. Okay, lose the sale. That's the other strategy. Sometimes, like we were talking about internet users acting very aggressively, unstable, overtly combative is the word I wrote down. And if you close the deal after a hard-fought negotiation, like I said, your address is going on that package, and they may remain contentious after the sale. They might find fault with the item, demand a refund, return the item, and leave negative feedback, which you do not need, all of which costs you time, money, and taxes your emotional and mental health. The next negotiation tactic is raise the price. This sounds crazy, but hear me out. Your asking price can set the perceived value of an object. I had this luscious blouse. It had everything going for it, except the brand was not particularly desirable. It was a solid brand, but it wasn't like, ooh, yay, you know. It was new without tags, and it was originally sold for $79. So I put it in my Poshmark closet for $25, and I thought, ooh, someone's going to just snap this up. They're going to love it. But everyone who saw that was sending me an offer, and it was $10 to $12. Almost everyone was going to, less than half of what my asking price was, and it was a great item. And I got into it with one particular lady who was extremely insistent that I sell it to her cheaply, and I just was not about to be pressured into that. It was brand new to my closet. It was getting a lot of attention. It was bringing a lot of eyes into my closet, and I just wasn't in any hurry to sell it. So what I did, just to hush everybody up, because it was taking up too much of my time on this one thing. So I could have cut it loose. That would have been one strategy, but I just decided, you know what? I just want to hang on to this thing, and I'm just going to price it up. So I just went in, edited the listing, and put it at $50. I doubled my price. And it sold within 3 days for my asking price without any negotiation. It was indeed a great object, and it was very validating. So raising the price is also a strategy. It's a risky strategy, but sometimes it does pay off. And you should consider all your options. Another thing you can do is upsell. I haven't seen people doing this much. When I feel that there's little hope of reaching middle ground with a buyer, I like to introduce them to the math by suggesting something like this. I'm rarely in a position to offer 80% off plus discounted shipping on a single item purchase. And that'll be the thing that I type into the message box. Sometimes people, when you say 80% off, that's what you're asking for, people aren't thinking they're just thinking I have $20 in my account. They're not thinking, oh gosh, that's 80% less than what she's asking. And so sometimes just telling them back the math, they'll be like, whoa, I guess I was out of line, right? And then asking for discounted shipping on top of that. What? So, then I'll also say, perhaps if you find multiple items in my Poshmark closet, we can work out a deal that we both like. So I'm telling them, I ain't comfortable with what you just said. And you just said 80%, and you want a discount. But I said it in a way where it's is that really the offer that you want to make me? I've done it in more of that kind of a tone. So, I'll tell you a little story about this. I was attached to this dress that I had in my inventory. And I had it for a long time, and it didn't get a lot of attention, but I just love this dress. I wished it was in my size, and I was super attached, which I say don't get attached, but, it happens. The lady gave me a really low offer, and I was like, oh, it's better than sending it off, sacrificing it for a couple bucks in my yard sale next year, Like, I want to get it sold. I don't want to have to donate this gorgeous dress either. And I was kind of tempted to let it, cut it loose, but I just couldn't bear it. It was unbearable. So I did this, and I tried to upsell her, and I said, why don't you go back in my closet, see if you see anything else you like, maybe bundling we can get there. So she did. She went back into my closet, my Poshmark closet, and she grabbed a shirt, a nice blouse, and it was I kind of considered it like a granny blouse. I really didn't like it. It was in great shape. It was a great garment. I wasn't gonna not sell it. And I had a pretty good price on it, so I was able to, by discounting both a little bit, we got into that range, and she pulled the trigger. And doing that and trying to get them to add in another item or two helps immediately, because right then they're combining shipping. So there already is a discount built in for them that doesn't hurt you. So upselling and having them take another look in your Poshmark closet, how can that hurt anything, right? And it has worked for me. The only problem is sometimes they'll go back in and get your two best items in the whole closet, and then they want both items deep discount, and that can kind of backfire. But then in that case, I'm not obligated to do that, so I'll just say, sorry, no thanks, Okay. And offer to likers. I gotta give my husband credit for this strategy, but it is fantastic, and it is so validating. I hope you stayed tuned, because this is gonna be your favorite tip of the entire video. So if I get a disappointedly low offer on an item that has a lot of likes, and I'm tempted to just take the offer because it hasn't been selling to any of these likers, or if I just need money for cash flow, and I'm thinking, I hate to sell it at this, but I'm gonna have to, then instead of counter offering to that single buyer, I will make an offer to likers, a deep discount that I have never offered them before, but that's higher than what that I'm tempted to take for this person. And what will happen almost always is, this person will be here and it will sell right here, like before their offer even expires. So, okay, so after I make the offer to likers, then what I do is I spend the whole day sharing that item. Even if I don't share my whole closet, I'll be sharing that and keeping it at the top of my closet. And as my activity is going throughout the day, I'll just click that and send it again, send it to the top of search again and again and again. And sometimes someone will swoop in and buy it for the asking price, and sometimes a liker will take a little higher offer than the low offer that I received to spark this whole transaction. It almost always works if there are quite a few likers that haven't seen a deep discount on this item yet, but then you don't have to go as deep as this one buyer is asking you to go. So that is all I have for you. Like I said, if you appreciated the free advice I'm putting out here on YouTube, then please like and subscribe to my channel so that you can find out all the little tips I've been hiding up my sleeve, okay? Thanks for watching, guys.